L'chaim. We have our little, we'd like to thank Shawn Lei for sponsoring our beautiful kosher vodka from, he's also a flight attendant among other things. L'chaim, L'chaim.
I'm not flying today, you know, I'm flying today, but I'm not working today. I just wanted to,
oh, okay.
Before you call the FAA on me, I'm not flying.
So L'chaim, L'chaim, we should see the ultimate and complete redemption. And may this be a beginning or a continuation, more like, of all operations in spreading the word of Moshiach and the Noahide.
This is a conspiracy to make the world a better place. I was born in China and spent most of my time in my life in the United States. So far, I'm loving Israel right now. The way to describe it, it's almost as if China, the mother, the United States, the father, came together, had a baby, had a kid, and the kid is like Israel. It's got like the best of China, the best of the United States, and there's also this like sense of like unspeakable freedom here. And it's, I don't know how to describe it. Like, and I just came from Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv is like, you know, I live in Los Angeles, and I thought people were crazy. I thought, not crazy, but like, I thought people were like, you know, individualistic or, you know, wild there. But come to Tel Aviv, man, I was like, and on what is it, like yesterday was a Tuesday, right? Tuesday at like, what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning, and people, I could hear like people shouting. And I was like, wow, I haven't had people like party up like this much since I was in college. But anyways, that's Tel Aviv. In Jerusalem, it's a little bit different. Jerusalem is a special place, and obviously it's considered one of the, not one of the, it's probably the holiest place
the holiest place in the world.
Yeah, the holiest place in the world.
For all faiths.
Yeah, but I want to say something about this place, though.
We're here. First of all, where are we? We are here in Jerusalem. We're right behind us is the Mount Olives. We see all the graveyard, all the graves. You see all the stones, the tombstones of all the people buried there. And we just came from the Temple Mount tour, and we were also by the Western Wall. And so that's what we've been doing today. We've been checking out the Holy Land.
I just want to say that coming here, though, I've seen a lot of pictures and even some videos of this place. The pictures really don't do justice for being here. It's something about the sounds, the vibe. It feels very peaceful, even in Tel Aviv here.
Contrary to the news outlets, which are trying to always say that there's a problem here, and that you're going to feel all this tension, and that the only thing you see on the news about Israel is people throwing rocks and whatever. You come here, it's a different story completely. You see that the land like accepts the good, and everyone's settled, and there's quiet and peace, and there's no safer place. The Rebbe says, and this is what Shawn is feeling. He's coming from the natural world, and he's telling you, as a Chinese kung fu master or student, I don't know, student or master?
I'm an instructor in training.
Instructor in training. He's telling you that and he meditates, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So he's telling you that from a natural perspective, he's feeling serenity and peace when he comes here. And the Rebbe says from a spiritual perspective, he brings it down and says that there is no safer place in the world than Israel, which is we're seeing the worlds come together here. You know, we're seeing the nature from a natural perspective, and you're seeing the godly messenger, which is the Rebbe, the prophet of the generation, saying the same thing. And then that's what Mashiach is all about, though, bringing the physical, spiritual, godly, mundane, natural, supernatural, all compact, and doing it in such a peaceful, beautiful version.
East meets west.
Yes. And so that was, you can continue on over there. You had that good point, though.
East meets west. Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the Kabbalah and Chabad philosophy, I guess. How they, in Kabbalah, I guess my understanding is that they have these archetypical things, almost like kind of like chakras. I heard my rabbis compare them to chakras. You got the Bina, the Chokhmah. The Chokhmah is like kind of like the right brain. Bina is like the left brain. Basically, things come in, like you mentioned, dualities, and
holding two opposites for those who are more than
yeah, and for example, and it's kind of, what, I'm trying to explain something that's really hard to explain.
Take your time. No, really.
All right, so I guess Back to what I said about like the the similarities between China and the United States.
Yeah, so Shawn Lei was telling me also that what I remember you told me was that Israel is like on one hand it's part of like it's near Asia and it's in Asia. Is it part of Asia?
Yeah, it's Asia.
So Israel is in Asia, which is the spiritual realm in the world in general, and then you have the United States, which is the physical realm, which is like everything's physical and everything that's physical matters. And then you have Israel, which is sort of like trying to play democracy and trying to mingle in with the crowd, sort of, but at the same time maintain its spirituality, and at the same time do like a lot of things. So that's what we were saying, duality, that there's holding two opposites, being able to, and that's what God is basically. God, He's merciful to the wicked as well as to the good. L'raim v'latevim. That's one of the wonders. It's something that Jewish people and all people of faith have to understand. Everyone has free choice. God gives everyone free choice. And God always judges you for the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe you'll still repent. Okay, you killed 5 people, maybe you won't kill 10. You killed 1,000, maybe you won't kill 2,000. Maybe you'll repent. It keeps you hanging around till your last day. You always have that free choice. And mature people that are serving God in a real way out of the highest level, the love with a fire, have to take responsibility for their free choice to the max. And you have to be a bar das. That means you have to be intellectually aware of your situation and take it from there. And also, I'm very happy that I'm here with Shawn, and this is a breakthrough in all in my life, at least, in all elements connected to Noahide campaign, and really, using technology on a whole new level in order to further the good of the world.
I want to say that I have a lot of hope for Jerusalem, for Israel, and for the world. Let me put it this way: a lot of people have tried to dominate the world throughout history, try to take over the world, control it. The thing that's special about the Jewish utopia, from my understanding, is that it's about leadership rather than controlling. It's about taking a small piece of land like Israel, making it very, very nice, free, justice, stuff like that, and hopefully the world follows suit. We are, right now, some people say that we're at the brink of having war between, some of the major countries in the world right now. I can see how Israel can be the key location in the world on planet Earth in which this place could act like a stabilizer in case we want to go to war. Israel will be the one place, east meets west, right in the middle, that'll reduce the effects of conflicts around the world. If you look at eschatology, the end world philosophy, end world visions of all the religions in the world. Buddhism, it's about going to reaching nirvana. Christianity, it's about going to heaven. The Muslims, they have a whole eschatology about basically kind of like the Christianity where people die and have wars, and God's going to come here and punish people. Judaism is the only religion, the only
monotheistic faith
that has an end world vision of a very wonderful world.
Positive
exactly,
end
where
world.
Everybody lives.
Positive storyline.
Yeah, positive. Everybody lives happily ever after. There's no wars.
No one's dying. The whole world's not blowing up and turning upside down.
God's not coming down here. It's like, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, God's not this police officer that wants to beat people up and is looking for victims.
Well.
So you're saying that Judaism, in your eyes, from your experience, is the only religion that you see that foretells a positive prophecy for the world?
Absolutely. From what I've seen so far. I don't know. But the thing about Judaism is that everybody's so diverse and everybody's so different. If one rabbi says, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, there's got to be another rabbi that says the exactly opposite, right?
But that's also part of, not always is that the rabbi can also have an evil inclination and use his influence in not necessarily a positive way. That can confuse the true followers and the true seekers of truth, of course, but we're talking to the real deal here. We're talking, and again, when you listen to us and you see this story and you understand what this means, that a Jew and a Noahide, or a non-Jew, you want to call it, meet up in Jerusalem to check out the holiest place in the world, and we're on a spiritual quest, on a spiritual mission, and we're not running to India, we're not running to the forests and the jungles to look for God. We're looking for God where God says we should look for Him. We're facing life. We're facing it, straight up with no fear, and the only one we fear is God. So when you see this story and you understand what is happening here, I'm sure you can appreciate and understand the vision. And of course, we're not trying to make anyone think like us. We're trying to make people think, period. If you hang out with us, you might end up thinking, which might change you from being a follower to a leader. It might change you from being a follower of blind faith to a follower of common sense, and of course your own morals and rationale.
One thing from what I've seen, one thing I found beautiful is about the Jewish community is the idea of questioning, always debating, always thinking, like you kind of said. Do you want to tell them about
question?
What the questioning,
okay.
What the Talmud is.
Okay, so we have the Talmud, we have the Mishnah, we have the Halacha, we have Maimonides, which writes all the laws, and Judaism is all about questions. The Passover Seder is all about the child getting up and asking the 4 questions. Judaism encourages questions, and Judaism is powerful enough to answer any question. And that's what's beautiful and amazing, and that's what differentiates Judaism from any other cult or blind faith religion, or even any other blind faith lifestyle. Again, we encourage questions. We encourage, and of course, Judaism, it says Shivim Panim LaTorah. There are 70 faces to the Torah, 70 ways you can approach the Bible, approach every single thing in the Bible. Obviously, there's also, as a joke, I'm going to say the Shivim Acharayim LaTorah. People can come up with their own concoctions and make up their own things. That's also, we have to make sure that we're not trying to, again, like we said, customize what God wants. We have to try and seek out what the knowledge is and which part of the knowledge we can relate to in a real way. We were up on the Temple Mount, and there were the rabbis there that they had the map of where the temple is supposed to be, and where the Jews are allowed to stand and where we're not allowed to stand. You can go on the entire tour, which we did, and you're not going to be on the exact place that Jews are not allowed to be, which is the Holy of Holies. So there's within the Jewish community, there's the people. I didn't know exactly. I had to ask the other guys. So there's the Jewish people that are professional in their field of like architectural, spiritual matter. They use their architectural knowledge for looking at the Temple Mount and truly planning the rebuilding of the third temple, which should happen right now. Amen. And then you have the knowledge of who is Moshiach, which is the Rebbe, prophet and leader of our generation, and we can explain that to our viewers, and that's our field of knowledge. And of course the Noahide laws and things like that, that's where our expertise lie. And of course we invite all of humanity to join us in making this world a place where no one even wants to kill, steal, or do anything that goes against common sense, morality, and of course God. And I start with the common sense, not because it's more important, but because take it from there. You hate God so much. Okay, let's talk to you a little common sense and see if you don't have any hidden hate or hidden problems that you need to go to a psychiatrist for. If you want to talk morality, you want to talk common sense, it all lines up with Judaism and it all lines up with the Noahide way of life. That's the mission. So that's the beauty of it all. There's no. It's not like if you're a Jew, then you can't do this, you can't enjoy life, or you're this, you're that. You can be a great person, you can live your life beautifully, you know, obviously, like people know, most people today, they never killed a person in their life, and you can live perfectly fine until 120, and you never shed blood. You know, you can enjoy life and enjoy the way, you know.
Yeah, I want to ask something though. We're not. I'm certainly not. We're not trying to convert you. We're not trying to convert anybody. The Jews are not trying to.
Right.
You know, like
that's an important point.
Yeah,
right?
unlike other. This part is a little bit like Buddhism, in that they're not trying to convert people. Unlike, for example, like Christianity or Islam. Not to condemn those religions, but just to point out the differences in the practices.
Right. Also to remember the Crusades. The Muslims went on a crusade and the Christians went on a crusade. But King Solomon in his time of prime, when the Jewish people owned the world, there was no crusades. We weren't killing anyone. His name was Solomon. He was peace and shalom, you know, and that's what he did, and that's what he wanted, and that's what the Messiah is going to do. So we're just offering, we're offering and presenting to the world, you know, a different outlook, a positive outlook, a way to create and pass on positive energy throughout the world. And of course, we challenge you to challenge us, and we challenge you to question us. And again, this is not even conversion. This is just basics of do not kill, do not steal, and so on.
And also, you know, you don't have to be Jewish to appreciate or, you know, come and help out the cause. You know, the Jews are considered, you know, the chosen people, and I think sometimes the wording is a little bit misleading. People think that, you know, the Jews are better than everybody else. And in reality, the Jews have a specific purpose in the, you know, they call it the world to come. I spent a lot of my time with Jewish people, right? And I haven't converted. You know, did you try to make me convert?
No.
Actually, I talked about, yeah, maybe I'll convert last night or something, and you said, actually, don't convert, just be a Noahide.
Right.
Now,
You can live a happy life. To be a Jew is 613 laws, and your life is tied down. You can't work on Sabbath. You can't Facebook on Sabbath. You know, all the Noahides dry up. They're like, we're all my Jewish friends on Sabbath.
but you can interpret it.
You can interpret it. For that you need to be a Noahide. It all depends on interpretation. No, but I'm saying
He's
no.
a rabbi, so he's well studied and
Yeah, well versed in the Jewish and no, but a Noahide, you don't need to be a Jew in order to help the cause and do your part to bring Mashiach and to make this world a better place. You can be a Noahide, and you'll get even according to the Bible, you'll have a place in the world to come and everything. And you'll also enjoy life. You don't have to be tied down by the Jewish laws, and you'll be out actually a lot more flexible to be able to help God, because you won't be tied down by His own laws. That's what actually comes out.
Yeah, everybody has a place in this world. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Noahide laws, what it actually is. It says seven
Noahide laws.
It's just basically.
This is the Rebbe, which to him goes the credit for our entire video production and our entire study course here, and also under his leadership, the Noahide laws have become available to us, thus available to you. So let's go through the core.
Sure, we'll go through them real quick.
The core principles of the 7 laws of Noah. So here we have them. We're talking about respecting God and, you know, believing in God, in one God. Now, if you want to have an image, like one God that is higher than image, has to be clear. After that, you have a rabbi, or you have someone you look up to. That's another thing, you know. But one God has to be there and divine. Yeah. Then not to curse God. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then the way it's actually practiced, it could be different. You know, I was raised as a Christian. You know, we talk about the same thing. But okay, I'll talk about the second one, for example.
Okay.
Don't curse God. You know, there's certain names that Judaism has for God. You know, they're considered almost like a delicate flower. It's like a beautiful name that you don't curse those things. I mean, people still say, you know, you can still say, you know, like I heard you say, you know, God damn it. You know,
Okay, but I didn't mean to curse God. I just
right, yeah, but it's you're not supposed to, you know,
curse God.
the name, the meaning. It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe you can explain it.
Basically, do not curse God in essence means basically when life gets rough, like when I say it, I say I barely, like, I don't, I'm not, I'm saying it as part of a conversation, but I'm not saying it in the sense that I'm going to explain right now, which is basically when life gets rough and we want to say, okay, this is because of God, then like in a bad way, in a negative light, in a negative energy, as if we're like mad at God, so then that would be cursing God, like, oh, why did God do this to me? So that would be, so like, we have to know that everything that God does is for a reason, and also we probably, one way or the other, deserve or are responsible for what we did, and we need to take responsibility, and we have to understand that, and also sort of it's like a barrier for throwing a cheap excuse at our incapability of dealing with nature or with God's commandments. In other words, we need to abide by nature's rules, at the same time abide by God's commandments, and then we're promised that everything's going to work out. So if we want to have a cheap escape and say, okay, God should be, God forbid, cursed or something, so that would be a cheap way of getting out of it, right? So the first law is to believe in God. The second law is not to curse God. Okay. So
there's a tradition, Jewish tradition, that in the world to come, God's going to be so obvious. This is my understanding, right? God's going to be so obvious. It's going to be so common sense. It's almost like 2 + 2 = 4. The idea that the universe has a consciousness. There is a higher power. That's the basic concept of God. But in the end, we're going to make this world is going to be such a wonderful, beautiful place that nobody's even going to think, oh, there's no God. That's the interpretation of what I've read on actually the Chabad website.
Yes,
but
yeah, absolutely. So there's, of course, now we're in the, as we spoke earlier, we're in the stage, we're in the era of Mashiach, which is the natural stage, not yet miracles. So at this stage, we're still like searching and feeling, and we still have that free choice. And as long as there's no open miracles, the free choice stands. Even though there are many miracles now, like the fact that we're standing here in Israel and Israel hasn't been annihilated by all the Arab neighbors, and that God arranges for the leaders of the Arab nations to quarrel with each other all the time. So that also is a miracle. So we have miracles, but they're not open. So, okay, time to pray. Okay, so let's wrap this up, though.
Would you say, Allahu Akbar, give me the snack bar?
Listen, Muslims praying to the one Lord. That's fine with me. I was actually on the Temple Mount, and I was telling the guards and the Arab guards, the Arab security, that I don't understand what this whole shebang is about, taking the Jews in carefully. We're supposed to be getting along. We both believe in one God, in monotheism. This whole political game of like trying to quarrel the teams against each other as if it's a football game is not doing the religion any good. Anyway, back to the 7 laws. So the third law is respect all human life. Do not commit murder, and that's something that even the most cold atheist will agree with. And you have do not steal. Do not act on immorally in adultery and commit adultery. So that's also something that everyone can agree with. And not steal. Respect other people's property.
Like any kind of like sexual immorality. Like don't have sex with your mother,
right?
Your father, your father, sister.
Yeah.
Don't do anything that's just.
Yeah, and these are things that are common sense. Yeah. And we don't even. But again, the fact that God says so is what gives it the power and the difference between if I say that this is okay and Shawn says that this is not okay, so it's my word versus his. But if we give it that extra concept of that God says so then it means a lot much more. It's not me and you debating about if something's right or wrong. It's a higher power deciding for both of us. And obviously, besides that, it's also common sense. Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, people are going to disagree. People are going to disagree, but
people will disagree to anything for reasons that I cannot figure out yet. But
I haven't found anything I disagree yet, but if I disagree with something, I'll
you'll tell me all about it. Okay.
But,
Then it says, do not eat from an animal while it's still alive. It's called edery min hachai. You can have a rabbit, you pull off an ear, and you eat it while the animal's still alive. Is that kill the animal first, allow the soul to leave the body, and then eat from it if you would like. But do not slaughter the animal. Do not like rip a wing off or a foot and then just eat it, and the animal sees you eating its foot. It's cruelty. It's disgusting. Do you agree, Shawn?
yes.
Okay, he agrees.
For a little bit. See, if he asks me that question again.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Because he already thought about it. Okay.
See, that just tells you I'm not agreeing just to
We'll update you in the comments if he changes his mind. Okay.
That's like the thing about the Jews is that there's what is it, like 2 Jews, 3 opinions?
Yeah.
Everybody has a different opinion. So we'll give you an opinion now, but you can have a different opinion. Everybody has a different opinion.
Yeah, but we're moving on. We'll see how this goes. Also, even if one of us or someone doesn't agree, we could also say that in a democracy we have to get the popular vote, right? And see how many people say this and how many people say that. Okay, moving on. The last law, which is to foster justice by supporting honest courts of law. That is something that even if the Jewish court is not yet established, or the Sharia law, no, every place needs to have a court system where those who are prosecuted or those who need help can run to for justice. And this is something that even in the time of exile is important. Do you agree, Shawn?
That one I agree, and I have something to say about the last the law, the established courts of justice. The whole idea, they call it Noahide law. Noah was this guy in the Torah, in the scriptures, before the biblical flood, which a lot of archaeologists and cultures have kind of been told as a flood in time. What happens at the flood killed pretty much everybody, or something like that. That's where the story goes. And Noah was the one guy that was chosen to survive through that flood. But if you look at the time before that flood, we lived in a society where people did not like each other. Mostly people were just not very good people. Everybody oppressed everybody. Nobody respects anybody. So when the flood came, nobody was able to help each other. So the idea right now is that we want to form a brotherhood and sisterhood of people, so that eventually we're gonna face things like natural disasters. We're gonna face things like asteroid hits or something, like maybe alien invasion. I don't know.
Never know.
Never know.
Coming soon to theaters.
But the idea is that we got to get together. All the wars we're having, we got to have justice. We got to have some kind of basis. Because supposedly according to the Torah, before the flood, God basically. There was no such thing as like the 7 Noahide laws. Basically, it was total freedom, which is not bad. But the people abused it. Yeah, people abused it. So now we kind of tether a little bit. We're not taking away the freedom, but we're having like a gravity that holds all the freedoms together, and we call it the basic laws. It's the way I see it is like we have skeleton in our body. If you look at like a snake or something, the snake has freedom, but it can only slither on the floor. The fact that we're humans, we have a skeleton, we have a bone. Seemingly, it's a little bit rigid. It's almost like, are we taking our freedom away? But it's actually giving us structure so we can have more freedom. See, I can run, I can climb that wall, well, maybe I can. I don't want to, but I can technically climb this fence behind me if I want to. That's the freedom, and it all happens because I have a set of structures, like my skeleton. And the skeleton that we're trying to give to the world right now is the 7 Noahide laws, the basic guidelines, basic structure that people can live by, so that we can be a better cohesion of humans, so that we can help each other in case of another flood comes.
We're talking in English, first of all, because we speak English, and second, he also speaks Chinese, but and I also speak Yiddish and Hebrew, but we're talking in English, for some reason it's the universal language at the time, so we're talking to everyone. This is a universal message, and we give the rights and privileges to anyone that wants to translate this to any language he wants. and spread the message. We're not holding any copyright. We're not trying to sell anyone anything.
You gotta say it the way we said it though, because otherwise it wouldn't be funny. It'll just sound kind of scary or.
Yeah,
You know,
and don't scare anyone with too much fear of hell or whatnot. We're trying to live the life here, and we know that the Olam Haba, which means the world to come, mean two things: the world to come as in heaven, or the world to come as in the days of redemption. So see you then. Peace out. Be part of it. We're waiting for you. We're not leaving exile without you. So you better get your act together. And we're not going nowhere. We're staying right here. And evil is leaving, and we're staying here. And unlike in Egypt, where 80% of the people, the Jews that left Egypt, were slaughtered because they disappeared in the plague of darkness, because they weren't mentally or physically or spiritually prepared to leave. They were still Stockholm syndrome, stuck in exile deep down. This time, every single Jew and every single Gentile that's ready to take on the 7 laws of Noah, morality and everything is ready to join us, and we're ready to rock the house. So let's give someone the gift of morality. It sounds weird, giving someone the gift of laws, but once you understand how important this is for a healthy society, and once you understand that not everyone has this, and once you understand that this is not so obvious to everyone that you think it's obvious to, then you get to appreciate it, and then you understand why it's so important to pass this message on. All right, I'm done, and I'm checking out.
The fate of this world depends on you. We want you. I'm trying to be the Uncle Sam guy. Does he go like this or this? We want you for the
To bring Moshiach.
to bring Moshiach in the Olam Haba.
Olam Haba.
Olam Haba.
There we go. Signing out, Shawn Lei and Yossi Edery, bringing you the best of both worlds. L'chaim, l'chaim. We have our little. We'd like to thank Shawn Lei for sponsoring our beautiful kosher vodka from. He's also a flight attendant among other things. L'chaim, l'chaim.
I'm not flying today. I'm flying today, but I'm not working today. I just wanted to.
Oh, okay.
Before you call the FAA on me, I'm not flying.
So l'chaim, l'chaim. We should see the ultimate and complete redemption. And may this be a beginning or a continuation, more like, of all operations in spreading the word of Moshiach and the Noahide.
This is a conspiracy to make the world a better place.
We are conspiring.
I took that from the quote from the Freemasons.
2 people conspiring to make the world a better place. Keep your eyes on us if you want to know what's up.
See, I'm Chinese, so I gotta go like this.
And I'm a Jew, I'm supposed to go like this? Oh, okay. All the best. L'chaim,
This is
l'chaim.
Jerusalem, l'chaim, l'chaim. See, in Chinese, if you say ganbei, you have to chug the whole thing. It's like kind of say cheers.
You have to chuck the whole thing? Yeah. See, but when Hasidim say l'chaim, it's not in order to get drunk. It's in order, because what's the difference between alcohol and weed? Alcohol takes you out of yourself. Weed brings you into yourself. The Rebbe said, I need my Hasidim to go out. I need my followers to go out into the world, make a difference. I don't need them to be looking in the world anyways, pushing us into ourselves. What we need to do is go out of ourselves and see what's around us. So let's do that, and l'chaim one more time. The Rebbe said not more than 4. Not more than 4 shots.
Oh, I just drank a shot.
Okay. L'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
Peace out.
Wait, I thought 2 more shots, right? Wait.
Shawn Lei would like to add, not more than 4, but not less. So, where are you holding?
This is the 3rd one?
At the 4th one, you stop counting. you lose track.
I'm like,
Okay, whatever. I think we did the point. I think we got the point across. It was in order to continue, like we were speaking a lot. Speaking is also a form of action, but now we brought it down into a physical manifestation by saying l'chaim. L'chaim means to life. Usually Hasidim say l'chaim v'livracha, to life and to blessing. Because sometimes when people drink, it's not exactly for life and it's not exactly for blessing. And therefore, we want to take this energy and use it for life and for blessing. Wanted to bring forward positive results. And lihitraot from the Holy Land. And at this time, we'd also like to say farewell to Shawn Lei on his further missions in spreading the Noahide and messianic prophecies to the world.
I'm spreading the. I don't like to think of like myself as like preaching or spreading it.
We're just some casual dudes trying to do our casual thing.
Well, I am a little bit. Sometimes I'm a little bit preachy, but just try to lead by example.
Lead by example.
Sometimes I lead a really crappy example though. But yeah.
One time he fell down the stairs and everyone fell down with him. No, just kidding. He stuck out his foot and people fell for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. I actually like to do that.
Yeah? They fell for it? Alright, okay. Yechia Melech. Peace out.
Peace out. 再见.